Hello wonderful people, welcome back all to the channel. It's me again, Evelyn Nduka. This video you are about to watch are Ghanaians that were arrested for internet fraud, aka Yahoo boys, and some of them were arrested on this gold scheme. They will promise people gold, and some of them were also arrested for love scheme. But the most important one, the common ones that people are doing in Ghana are the gold scheme. They promise people, they scam people of their money. They promise them that they want to sell gold to them, or they have gold factory. They end up scamming them. A lot of people have reported this kind of issue, but with this one, let's just watch this video, then
Internet romance scams targeting Americans back here in the U.S. Men and women in the U.S. looking for love. They go online and then they are tricked into sending money that ends up in the hands of young men trained to fool them. Deborah Pata followed the money trail all the way to Ghana, and she joins us now live in studio, we're happy to say. Deborah, good morning.
Very good morning, Tony. Well, this has been a year-long investigation that spans 3 continents, and we begin our reporting in the West African nation of Ghana, where many of these scams originate. Our team went inside the criminal syndicates that are going to extreme lengths to swindle victims out of millions of dollars.
Down a dusty alley in Accra, young men cast off their true identities as they enter this apartment. They call it their hustle kingdom. Meet Ghana's Yahoo boys, online criminal syndicates who prey on elderly Americans by tricking them into falling in love, then stealing their life savings. Operating out of underground boiler rooms like this one, we filmed undercover. They run sophisticated scams that break hearts and empty bank accounts.
I'm the mastermind behind the whole thing.
That's syndicate boss Voodoo, who spoke to us on condition we hide his identity, and his most senior operator, Kola.
I feel disappointed, like I didn't go to school to do this. Sometimes we take money from people, imagine that is my dad.
Voodoo and Kola are the closers, stepping in once their underlings have hooked new victims from online dating sites.
I fish everywhere in the world. Easy to catch is Americans.
Here, he's chatting with a 60-year-old man, posing as Sandra, living in New York. When victims want video calls, he hires online porn stars.
She's dating, they're talking to this beautiful blonde woman, yeah. I've paid to just have her on a video call.
If the victim demands an in-person visit, they use women who get a cut of the profits. Building trust can take months.
We do all that to get his attention and the trust. Boom, then we chip in business.
We found one such victim. 75-year-old American radiologists were calling John, not his real name, who declined an interview. John believed he was in love with a woman called Grace Erskine, an Australian living in the US. In fact, the whole time he was talking to this man, 34-year-old syndicate boss Alfred Kwame Aivo, posing as Grace. Aivo controlled the entire scam, which included hiring a woman to play the part of Grace for any in-person meetings John insisted on, as these text messages we obtained reveal. Aivo offers to pay her $100,000, but she wants more than double that, threatening, "Without me, everyone gets nothing. I could always call and say it was a scam." But she doesn't, and pretending to be Grace, visited John in the US and met him in Ghana, where syndicate boss Aivo posed as their driver. Grace claimed she'd inherited a Ghanaian gold mine and offered John a chance to invest in it. He was so enamored with her, he unwittingly paid over $700,000 for a stake in the non-existent mine. The money was a red flag for Ghanaian detective Gerald Pangpadi, as Aivo was unemployed.
We realized that the person did not have any form of work that is commensurate with the amount of money that were coming into his account.
Aivo was arrested but died of an unknown illness before serving prison time. We tracked down the woman posing as Grace outside Sydney, Australia.
Are you sorry? Do you have anything to say to his family?
Her real name is Rebecca Jade Silk. When confronted, she did not deny or confirm the allegations, but refused to answer our questions. Silk has not been charged with any crimes. She remains a person of interest for Ghanaian police. Yahoo boys and their hustle kingdoms are glamorized in popular West African culture. We filmed this group celebrating a big payout by throwing money in the air. And there's little remorse for the devastation caused by the cruelty of their crimes.
But hey, there's no sympathy. Because once you go on the sympathetic side, you go hungry.
A Ghanaian man living here in Charlotte, he was caught at the airport with more than $130,000 that he scammed out from unsuspecting women. That was back in 2017. Now he's behind bars in order to pay more than $1 million in restitution.
As soon as someone asks you for some personal information or asks you to send some funds, that should be an immediate red flag that love and companionship is not necessarily what that individual is after.
38-year-old Suleiman Al-Hassan was sentenced to more than 4 years in prison for scamming more than 20 mostly elderly people out of more than $1 million.
One of the things the FBI talks about is the sudden and urgent need. I need this now. I need you to do this now. Help me now is a serious indicator that this person is trying to get everything they can out of you before they're discovered.
According to court records, Al-Hassan and his co-conspirators romanced women on dating sites using fake names and profiles and requested victims send money for travel documents. Victims were conned into giving more for false visa and customs-related issues.
Don't be ashamed about it. It happens to us all. Just learn from the mistake, recover what you can, and just continue to move forward. And don't give up on companionship just because you were swindled.
The scammers also ran a gold scheme. Al-Hassan claimed to have a large amount of gold that victims would pay to have shipped to the U.S., with the promise they'd receive a share of the profits once the gold arrived.
Certainly, it's good to request restitution, and you could even go after that individual civilly, but in reality, the chance of getting any civil compensation is probably going to be slim.
If you know of a scam like this, Bauer says do a few things. First, change and destroy your credit cards and also change your bank account number. Then also add a fraud alert to your credit report. Now,